Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to MSNBC, my snarky news broadcasting channel. All of the news, none of the pants. My name, of course, is Antoine the Great, and I've been joined by my gorgeous co-hosts, Wren from Wrenelations and Shitlords Anonymous.
Hey, guys.
As well as Ishtar from her own Twitch channel, and where she sometimes plays Sarah right here on Help for the Guiltless.
Hi, guys. How's it going?
And I guarantee you at least one of these beautiful women are not wearing pants, which is why we have all of the news. And none of the pants. We are getting a volunteer showing she is not wearing pants. See, I do not lie.
No,
Nope.
he does not.
So before we get started and ask you beautiful women how your weeks have been going, let's say hello to some of the people we have in the chat. We have a few. Mitzi was here first. She
As
gets to wait as always, she gets to wait the longest. Ray Stone is here. He was second, and he says woot. Brianna's here saying morning. Good morning, Brianna, which means Tom is lurking around here somewhere. Ali is here. How's it going, Ali? Dracanath, Yaknomeno, Damn Alien. How's it going, everyone?
Hi, chat.
Hi, guys.
Hey, hon, could you hand me my pumpkin spice rum and a shot glass?
Of course, pumpkin spice.
Are you kidding me? This is Wren's season. This is when she lives.
There's pumpkin spice at work, and there's pumpkin spice cappuccino, and pumpkin spice coffee creamer, and pumpkin spice donuts.
This is Wren's season.
How's it going, Best Remy? Best Remy says, I am okay with the no pants policy. You know what? So am I. Well,
Wren, darling, can I
Yeah.
make a suggestion that you tilt your camera up just a smidge, because all we're seeing is your cleavage.
You do know you're going to piss everyone off. Don't piss everyone off.
Well, I'm not trying to piss everyone off. I'm looking out for my girl. You know?
So how was your week, ladies? See, you're getting me distracted by pointing out that it's nothing but Wren cleavage.
What's the problem with that?
Even Alice's.
To say anything.
Because I'm backing up Wren. Because Wren helps keep me in weird ass articles for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to back her up.
Oh, yeah, we have more than a few weird things to talk about today.
It was a plethora of weird.
Brianna says, Tom says he's sharpening his shivs so he can't message but says hi. We're assuming that Brianna and Tom have broken into a prison and are going to be donating those to all the willing prisoners that want to break out. So good luck, Brianna. Good luck, Tom. I hope, I hope everything goes well. Do not, if you really, really need to hurt someone who's getting in your way, go for the kidneys.
Always go for the kidneys.
And Allie says, I love you, but fuck you.
I'm sorry, Allie. Excuse me. We just finished dinner.
So, it is pumpkin spice season, huh?
Yes, and sadly, that was the last of my hard liquor.
Aww.
Didn't you post something up on Twitter about having 2 days till you get paid and then only 2 cigarettes left?
Magically, we got a refund thing on his PayPal, so
Nice.
cigarettes have been attained, so I don't have to kill anyone.
Life continues for the innocent.
Well, customer service when you work at a gas station. If I didn't have nicotine,
You wouldn't have customer service?
yeah.
There would be customer service. It's just depending on which body part she wants to serve back to them. How's it going, Red Feather?
Hi, Red Feather.
So
But we're still waiting on the payday.
Well, I mean, right now you can get pumpkin spice everything, so I think I've even seen pumpkin spice pumpkin. So, I mean, that's
a little ridiculous.
That's a little ridiculous. But pumpkin spice season isn't just pumpkin spice. I also like making plain like pumpkin cookies, mini pumpkin pies. Pumpkin scones are delicious. Pumpkin cupcakes, pumpkin cake.
See, she's moved into fall. I'm still clinging to summer with my 4th of July cake.
Your 4th of July cake was delicious.
I move on to just making everything pumpkin flavored or pumpkin spice flavored. One of the two. I can go either way.
I bet by the time Christmas rolls around, Igor is so sick of pumpkin he can't see straight.
Actually, he loves when I bake with pumpkin.
Oh, yeah?
Brianna has clued us into some of her tactics. She says, Tom and I decided we're going to go under the ribs and into the lungs so they can't scream, and then under the ribs into the heart.
That's a good
Good plan. Yeah.
See, there are 2 things that happen during this season. one, pumpkin spice comes out, and all the basic bitches make their way to Starbucks and everything like that for their pumpkin spice lattes. What?
Congratulations, Wren. You're a basic bitch
I'm
now.
not basic bitch. I just have a bit of white girl in me. There's some things you cannot override. You cannot override some little things in white girlness you cannot override. That's one of them.
Red Feather and Brianna both bring up pumpkin pie, so I'm pretty sure I'm going to upset them right now because I cannot stand pumpkin pie. I am not
pumpkin pie.
I do not like pumpkin pie.
This is one time his exquisite taste fails him.
What about pumpkin bread?
I've never had pumpkin bread.
Ishii,
but
you need to make him pumpkin bread.
Do you have a good recipe?
I can get you a good recipe for pumpkin bread. Pumpkin bread is delicious.
I will feed him pumpkin bread if you've got a good recipe.
Anyway.
My mom makes pumpkin bread. It is delicious. It's very nutmeggy, spicy.
And nice and moist.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I definitely like something nice and moist. Speaking of Ishtar,
Shut up.
the other thing that happened.
Too late.
The other thing that happens, aside from the pumpkin pie and pumpkin spice, is that cinnamon becomes a big thing because of Christmas. I used to work for a Michaels.
Oh, God.
I, hate glitter because it gets everywhere. They called it fairy.
It never goes away.
Calling it fairy herpes is very accurate. You think you got rid of it, and then you find it somewhere else. I also grew tired of the smell of cinnamon because it's so overpowering. Because they put it all at the front.
Yeah, cinnamon is kind of tricky. Like, I have my apple cinnamon candles I like. But there has to be more apple than cinnamon. Otherwise, it's like the cinnamon smell I like closer to Christmas because it's nice and warm. But I like the apple cinnamon smell in the fall because it's warm but still light.
If you're not careful with cinnamon, it just smells like Christmas vomited in front of you.
Yeah.
Yes. Red Feather says, did you see the Babylon Bee article? The white girls turning into pumpkin spice statues outside of Starbucks. Yes, I did see the article, and unfortunately Snopes did a fact check on that and said that basic bitches cannot actually turn into pumpkin spice statues. So the feud between the Babylon Bee and Snopes continues.
We were all very disappointed that they can't turn into pumpkin spice statues.
Hey.
I mean, if you think about it, that is a renewable source
of pumpkin spice.
Pumpkin spice, yeah.
It is. But hey, on the plus side with pumpkin spice season, it's easy to set up a lure and trap a basic bitch. All you need is free Ugg boots and pumpkin spice, and you can catch them.
That's true.
Damn Alien wants to know if I have a P.O. box where I can send cinnamon glitter bombs. No, and there's a good reason for that.
You send cinnamon glitter bombs to my house, damn Alien, I will hunt you down and make you snort every single bit of it.
Alright, before we get too far into that threat, because I know how she'd make you do it, what did we start with last time? Let's actually get into what the show is about. News.
I think Florida Man.
Florida Man was first.
I think it's Wren's turn to start.
We want to start with cringe. Alright, we'll start with some cringe.
Do we want to start with Out and Out Poof Twan?
No, let's warm him up.
Okay, let's warm him up first. We'll warm him up first. We're going to go with a South Carolina man that burns down home because he suspected his wife of an affair.
That's one way of doing it, I guess.
Yeah.
Speaking of basic bitches.
Cops say a man in South Carolina who discovered his wife was allegedly having an affair. Allegedly, is the real homewrecker after he decided to get even by torching his home, which was uninhabited at the time. Okay, he gets props for he didn't burn it down with someone in it.
All right, he does get a few props, not many.
Antonio Meadows, 40, was arrested Friday afternoon and charged with second-degree arson, according to jail records from Georgetown County Detention Center.
Yeah, that's a man who looks sane.
Yeah. The Andrews Police Department told WCIV-TV the incident happened around 11 a.m. on Friday when Meadows allegedly doused the interior of his home with gas and set it on fire. Meadows told police he found text messages on his wife's phone that led him to believe she was cheating on him.
Wait. Okay, hold on. He didn't even confront her about it? He just saw the messages on her phone and went, burn it all to the ground.
Yes. His wife and children were at the neighbor's home at the time of the fire and were not injured during the incident.
It was a trailer. It's a trailer.
It was a trailer. Trailer park. The 40-year-old...
Why is that surprising?
It's not. That's the thing.
No, because I was actually picturing, a decent house. Maybe a nice little cottage. And then it's just like... Trailer.
Look, what's his name again? Antonio has a cousin in Florida. They're just going to hook up and get that meth business going again, so he'll be able to afford a new trailer within a week.
Yeah, true.
The 40-year-old suffered the lone injury in the incident, reportedly burning his leg while setting the fire to the home. He was treated at a hospital after officers arrested him at his grandmother's house less than an hour after the blaze. The home was completely destroyed in the incident. Jail records show that the 40-year-old was released on $5,000 bond on Saturday.
Just $5,000.
It was only a trailer.
Huh.
The meme is overused, right? That escalated quickly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's very fitting for this. Well, that fucking escalated quickly.
She got a text message. Burn the house!
Well, when you're pissed, careful thought, not really high on the list.
And hey, he didn't do it with his wife and kids in the house. We do have to give him some props. He didn't try to burn her alive.
There is that.
No, he just basically said burn it all to the ground. She got text message. It could have been another woman, and she could have been setting something up for a fun birthday for him. He doesn't know.
Hey,
that's true.
We don't, but
we don't put logic here.
This is Trailer Park Man, which I think is similar to Florida Man, but a little different because it could happen in any state.
They are closely related cousins.
They are closely related, but Trailer Park Man can be just as stupid.
Closely related as in their family tree does not fork.
Yes, we caught that. Thank you.
I'm clearing it up for the people who didn't. My humor, according to some people who have made comments on videos, is extremely dry humor. So I want to explain it to the ones who don't have the IQ bigger than those who passed the 5th grade.
But you're British. It's supposed to be dry.
Yeah, but we already established that I like things moist.
But not your humor.
Yeah.
Yeah, Maylene says maybe he saw a spider.
Maybe he did see a spider.
Yeah. That would be a perfectly legitimate reason.
If this story was Australia Man and they said, why'd you burn your house down? Spider. We'd all be going, all right.
Got it.
We got it.
No harm, no foul. It's cool.
Alright, do we want to go to Florida Man next, or science?
I believe it is my turn.
Oh, you believe it is your turn.
Yes.
What makes you the next person?
I said so.
Well, you know what they say, those who may have the boobs make the rules.
I have a set of boobs.
You do?
I kind of like them.
I do.
Mysterious underwater thieves steal a 1,600-pound observatory from the bottom of the Baltic Sea. It suddenly went silent on August 21st.
How's it going, Steve? It says the title was brilliant and brought me in. Well, I'm glad you're here. I'm sorry, they stole a 1,600-pound what now?
A research station the size of a small car has completely vanished from the bottom of the Baltic Sea, and it looks like the station's been stolen. The observatory, which was run by Geomar Helmholtz Center for Ocean Research, consisted of about 1,630 pounds or 740 kilograms of equipment. Its job was to collect environmental data from the ocean floor and transmit that information to researchers on land. But on August 21st, the station stopped sending data. At first, the researchers suspected something had gone wrong with the transmission, but divers went to check on the site and found that the entire Boknas Ek Observatory had disappeared, with just a shredded power cable left behind.
I have a theory.
All right, what's your theory?
It was the Meg.
Okay.
Well, we all know sharks are sensitive to electromagnetism. Mm-hmm. So the Meg was swimming around looking for something tasty to eat, a couple of humans, a boat to capsize, whatever, and this directed its attention. That's why the cords were shredded. It just took it in one bite.
It was hoping that it was like one of those Kinder eggs, a prize on the inside?
Yes.
Well, unfortunately, Geomar says no storm, tide, or large animal could have moved the station.
They don't know the power of the Meg.
Police are investigating, and Geomar asked that any members of the public who might have seen something report it. The station consisted of 2 heavyweight racks. One carried the power supply, while the other carried sensors. Those instruments were used in an environmental data collection project that's been going on since 1957. The project has maintained a continuous record of key ocean variables, including temperature, salinity, level of nutrients, oxygen, and chlorophyll. The station cost 300,000 euros, or about $330,000, said Geomar, but the lost data is priceless.
Tom brings up a good point. Steve said it was Cthulhu, but Tom brings up a good point. Which police? Who has jurisdiction on the ocean floor?
That's a good question. The police are not named here, but given that it's the Baltic Sea, I'm gonna say Russian.
Probably.
And Ray says this show has 2 heavyweight racks as well. Wren and Ishtar's.
Yes.
You're not wrong.
It was measuring salinity and things like that. Well, unfortunately now it's measuring, the corn the stomach acid and the corn levels inside the megalodon.
It's still monitoring. That's all that matters. It's earning its money.
All right, let's slip into some Florida Man, shall we?
Yes.
That depends. Are you going to be slipping out of your pants at the same time?
No, I keep my pants on.
But you're doing Florida Man. Half the time they're naked.
This is true, but you see, the chat doesn't want me out of pants. They want you out of pants.
But you're not on camera, so why can't you be pantsless?
Oh, because then Ishtar gets too distracted.
You're not wrong.
Ray says, some ad on Russian eBay where the E is backwards. Gently used C-Lab. Hardly used. 5 million rubles are best offer.
Yes.
Alright, I'm going to give you and the chat the chance to pick. We can talk about... Florida Man and urine, or Florida Woman and Disneyland.
Ooh, Florida and Disneyland. Florida and Disney.
All right, I'll go with that.
All right.
It will placate the Wrenness. And pleasing the Wren is important.
Yeknomenos, Damn Alien says the tagline is a lie. No, it's not, because Ishtar is not wearing pants.
I am not. Don't make me show my pants. My pantsless legs.
Yeknomenos says, speak for yourself. I am an equal opportunity pantsless person. I'll take that into consideration. And Tom, our resident shiller, says $100 to get help for the guiltless to take his pants off and show us his legs on camera. Let's see it, people. I don't know if I
not going
don't
to
know
do
if I
that.
agree on the price of $100. Anyway,
How about this? $100, I'll change into Daisy Dukes.
All right, let's fork over the money, people. Let's get the cash flowing
there we go. $100, and Wren puts on Daisy Dukes.
and wiggles her butt for us.
That is the deal for the night. All
I
right.
can agree to the wiggle butt too.
So, as I said, Florida Woman and Disney... Well, it's not Disneyland, it's Disney World, so it's the more expensive one with Epcot, which I've only been to once. How do you think you would... What do you think this story is about?
Drunk at Disney World?
Okay, we have a drunk at Disney World. Ishtar?
High at Disney World. Like crack.
Ah. $100... Okay, so Remy says bidding starts at 100, and Red Feather asks a very important question. $100 all at once, or a collective?
Collective. We'll be
Collective
fair.
$100.
Collective.
All right, a collective $100.
Since everybody's going to be enjoying, everybody can participate.
And every $10 over we go with 100, then that adds an additional 30 seconds of butt shaking.
Remy says that this story involves either drunkenness or fighting. Well, I don't actually know. I just think it's funny. So we're going to find out. Woman banned for life from Disney World over a cigarette. Wren, were you at Disney World?
No, I was not. I haven't been at Disney World since I was 13.
I don't believe her.
Orlando, Florida.
Florida?
Floridians. Orlando, Floridians. Authorities say a woman is banned for life from Walt Disney World in Florida after she hit a taxi driver and then kicked a deputy at the resort. The Orange County Sheriff's Office says in an arrest report that Ellen McMillan of Brandon, Florida, hit a taxi driver outside Disney Hollywood Studios last Thursday. A Disney security guard and a deputy working a detail at the park intervened. The taxi driver told deputies McMillan started hitting him after she asked for him for a cigarette. And he told her he didn't have one.
I've never been that desperate for a cigarette. This is why I keep a vape pen.
Something tells me that... Well, I was going to say, something tells me that alcohol or drugs were involved. And it says, deputies say McMillan was slurring her words and they detected a strong odor of alcohol.
You don't say.
Really?
She was charged with battery on an officer and disorderly intoxication. McMillan asked for a public defender, but she had no attorney on Monday.
Shocking.
So, a couple of interesting facts about Disneyland.
Uh-huh.
And I just deleted one of mine. God damn it. Hold on just a second.
No.
Stop deleting stuff then.
There it is.
We're very supportive and helpful, Wren.
So,
Yes, we
something interesting about Disneyland. Did you know, and I think we've talked about this before, did you know that if you are born on Disneyland properties, you have free admission for life?
Did not
Really?
know that.
Yes. Here's the thing. I learned this from an old roommate who was an EMT who talked to the people at Disneyland and their emergency services. They do not like letting in pregnant women who are over 8 months pregnant.
Well, yeah, because likelihood you could have a kid there and get the passes.
There have only ever been 2 births on Disneyland. Basically what happens is if a woman goes into labor on Disneyland properties, they call 911, get an ambulance out, and try and get her off the property as fast as possible.
It also saves them from having liability issues.
Yes, but it's more along the lines of they don't want to pay out, especially when you can just show up and go in anytime you want.
Yeah.
Also, the Haunted Mansion, for those who don't know, is one of the most popular rides in Disneyland and Disney World to have ashes spread throughout.
Yes, and they just I do know this one. They just vacuum it up at the end of the night.
Yes. And if you end up trying to spread someone's ashes and you get caught, you get banned from Disneyland.
Yes.
Yep.
Red Feather says, Disneyland anchor baby. Yes.
Basically.
Disneyland is one of those things that they have their own police force, their own emergency services, their own fire services, and all of them are actually legal. If you get accosted by someone with the badge in the shape of a mouse, they're still legally able to arrest you. But with that being said, since that was a very short article and I wanted to stretch things out a little bit, let's move on to some Grinch, because I don't want to talk about some of the articles that Wren has brought up.
All right. Well, to continue warming you up before we get full-proofed on, we are going to go to a woman who married a tree in front of family and now plans on changing her name.
I'm sorry,
You'll have to
what?
go roll your own. Talk to the minion real quick. This is a woman who married a tree and now plans on changing her name.
To what? Twig. Berry.
Elder.
Leaf. Elder.
A mom of two who tied the knot with a tree now intends to change her surname to reflect the species she married. Kate Cunningham's family and friends looked on as the bizarre wedding ceremony was held in Maryside Park.
Hold on. Hold everything. We understand that no means no.
Yes.
And that you have to consent to do certain things.
Yes.
On top of that, to have a marriage be seen as legal, you have to consummate.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, all right. Do you see where I'm getting here?
She consummated with the tree and didn't necessarily have consent. We know.
She raped this tree. This is what MGTOW need to get on. This is actual marriage rape right here. She has raped that tree.
Because that tree is a senior.
Yes.
So
So
she
it's
is taking
also-
advantage of a senior person
Yes, she
thing
is.
that can't consent.
The
Senior abuse on top of marital
senior
rape
abuse,
and abuse.
Yes. The 34-year-old bride decided to marry the elder tree in Litherland's Rimrose Valley Park as a stunt to raise awareness about a campaign opposing the construction of a new bypass. The activist told Melling told the Liverpool Echo that she had a hen do the night before and now plans to change her name to Kate Rose Elder by deed poll. She wore an olive green dress and a homemade skirt and green pumps for the symbolic ceremony.
Gotta have those pumps. It's those fuck me pumps. You know what they are. They're the ones that are really, really high. She wants to make sure that her tree gets wood.
Yes. Before the big day, Miss Cunningham told the Echo, "My boyfriend is very supportive of my decision. He even helped make props for the ceremony."
Her boyfriend is just as mentally damaged as she is.
He's being cucked by a tree?
Yes,
He's being
he is.
cucked by a tree.
Someone get him Cialis or Viagra. Apparently he's not getting it in the bedroom department, so she had to go to an elder tree.
Yes.
He just needs shots of testosterone.
Quote, "My oldest son was initially embarrassed when I told him what I was going to do it, but now he has decided to come to the ceremony. It means a lot to him being there. His dad has been very supportive. He's been out in his van helping organize everything for the big day." She added, "At first it was just an idea, and then we decided we were going to make it happen. It's a great day for all the local community to come together. It's our day."
Why is she deciding this for people?
Because she is. Local residents have been campaigning to block the new 3-mile bypass through Rimrose Valley, proposed by Highways England. It is intended to ease traffic congestion into the port of Liverpool. Local actor, musician, and poet Davy Edge performed at the ceremony on Saturday afternoon.
All right, we have to go through the chat real quick.
Yes.
So Ali is losing her mind. She's saying could have been the Golden Gate Bridge, the Eiffel Tower. Damn Alien says always get sappy at weddings.
Oh.
Red Feather says this is beyond tree hugging.
Yeknomeno
says isn't normal for hardwood to be involved for cucking.
So true. Ray says, do you think she smells faintly of elderberries? I don't know, but I'm pretty sure her boyfriend looks like a hamster. Ali told Damn Alien to shut up, and Damn Alien said, I would, as in WOOD, but I can't help myself.
and she's not even the worst. Like, we're not going to go through the rest of it. It's her activist part. But just so you know,
of course she's an activist. Look at her.
Yeah. Just so you know, besides the woman who married the pirate ghost, which we've already talked about, there was a woman who married her dog after giving up on men in England.
You know why the father of her eldest son is not upset about all this?
Because he's gay?
No, because he's looking at it going, better this crazy ass bitch marry a tree than me.
Exactly. It's like, I could have married her, or we're going to let her marry the tree. You know what? Marry the tree. We're good.
Bullet dodged.
The woman who's giving up on men and marrying her dog, I'm sure we'll be able to pay to see her on some private chats where she's having some fun with the dog later on.
Does that mean England has their own Whitney, Wisconsin?
Yes.
Who?
The dog fucker.
Oh, is she?
No.
Do you remember when I read an article on Caffeinated to Die about a woman who decided to drink her dog's urine live on camera?
Yes.
That was Whitney, Wisconsin.
Yes.
She's back on Twitter.
Whitney, Wisconsin's the same person who she's recently tweeted that she believes that like a large, ridiculously made up percentage of women want to or have fucked their animal.
Yeah, the ridiculously high...
Okay, now I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, she said 9 out of 10 women.
Yeah.
She's stupid.
Yes, she is.
So, Damn Alien continues with Don't Make Me Leaf. And fearing for life and limb.
And Allie wants to get a flamethrower to kill Damn Alien now.
I think we're having a pun war between Ray and Damn Alien here. This is going to get good.
It's glorious.
Alright, so shall we move on to some science?
Yes.
Alright, let's see. Which one do I want to do? Let's go ahead. Yeah, it's about time for a title article.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate you so much.
I love you too, baby. Scientists suggest eating human flesh to fight climate change.
Well, it's definitely going to cut down on population control.
Yeah. Damn Alien says, do I need to bow out?
No.
No, bow as in bow trees.
A Swedish scientist speaking at Stockholm Summit last week offered an unusual possible tactic in combating global climate change: eating human flesh. Stockholm School of Economics professor said researcher Magnus Soderlund reportedly said he believes eating human meat derived from dead bodies might be able to help save the human race if only a world society were to awaken to the idea.
You know what? I just read a study that says 100% of scientists from Sweden called Magnus are completely batshit insane. It's the first time that scientists around the world have agreed on one specific topic. There's not like the 9 out of 10. This is 100% a scientist who said that someone from Stockholm, Sweden, named Magnus, who purports himself as a professor, is insane.
Soderlund's argument for human cannibalism was front and center during a panel talk called "Can You Imagine Eating Human Flesh?" at the Gastro Summit, reports the Epoch Times. Conservative taboos against cannibalism, he said, can change over time if people simply tried eating human flesh.
Wait, conservative views?
Yeah.
Does that mean everyone on the face of the planet is a conservative except for the African tribe that has never heard of white people and doesn't know what a plane is or a helicopter, so they throw spears at it?
Yes.
That's a conservative view.
Apparently.
Not eating people. That's the line.
Apparently.
God fucking damn it.
Some of the talking points at the seminar included whether humans were too selfish to live sustainably and if cannibalism is the solution to food sustainability in the future. When asked during an interview after his talk if he would personally try human flesh, Soderlund said he was open to the idea.
You know, there's dark web. And when I say dark web, I don't mean the intellectual dark web. That's Jordan Peterson and that bullshit. I'm talking about the onion browser dark web. The ones that are under the iceberg that no one likes to talk about. There are actual sites of fetishists who eat human flesh. This shit, he's one of them. I guarantee it. If you look into this idiot, he has illegal sites on his browser. He would like to try human flesh. You want to know what? I'm gonna steal this from Tim Pool because it needs to be said. Do you want to know what happens if you plant seed? I just finished off the watermelon, right? In our house. It was delicious. Do you know what happens if I take one of the seeds from watermelon and plant it into the fucking ground?
You get more?
You get more! Surprisingly. Do you want to know what happens if you let chickens outside with other chickens? It happens in Minecraft. It happens in farm simulators. They fucking give you more chickens.
But do they give you... But when you harvest them, do they give you fully cooked chicken?
Oh no, you have to take the 40 minutes to cook a goddamn chicken. And that's doing a whole chicken on rotisserie. Are you fucking kidding me with this?
Cooked one.
You brought up farm simulators. Farm simulators have pigs that hand you bacon.
On top of that, it's already been brought up in chat, it's prion disease. Do you want to know what prion disease is?
Why don't you educate us?
It's called the laughing disease. Mm-hmm. It causes hysteria. It takes a long-ass time to develop, too. Anywhere from 20 to 50 years for symptoms to show up. You twitch, you shake, you uncontrollably laugh as you are driven mad by the bacteria that you consumed from human flesh. Even if cooked properly. That's why cannibals are looked down on, but this is a conservative view. Fuck you.
I feel somewhat hesitant, but to not appear overly conservative, I'd have to say I'd be open to at least tasting it, he told Sweden's TV4.
Someone fucking arrest this man.
He did suggest more plausible options, such as eating pets and insects. Before human meat becomes the next cuisine trend, however, history shows there are potential health risks to cannibalism.
Do you want to know why eating pets and insects is up on the chopping block? Because these liberal, leftist idiots have been trying to push that eating insects is the next big food craze. And that didn't work, so now they're going to take a step over the line. Look at this. Why, if you don't want to eat insects, why not try people? Well, I'm sorry. The people in Venezuela are already eating pets and insects. You socialist Stockholm piece of shit.
Why am I imagining Swedish Chef from the Muppets now preparing a human?
A tribe in Papua New Guinea practiced eating their dead as an alternative to allowing them to be consumed by worms, according to the standard. The cultural practice led to an epidemic of a disease called kuru, also known as laughing death. According to the U.S. National Library of Medicine, the disease is caused by an infectious protein found in contaminated human brain tissue. The practice of cannibalism among the people of New Guinea came to an end in 1960.
Yeah, and you don't hear people going, hey, you want to know where I want to go? Cannibalistic Papua New Guinea.
Yeah, sounds like a vacation place for someone you hate.
Thank you, Steve. Now everyone has that in their head. Swedish chef making people.
God damn it. Fucking stupid.
Wren, I just found an article for you. I'm sending it over.
Okay.
Because this sounds fucking hilarious.
So we're moving on to... Can we move on to something funny that says... that's Florida Man?
Go ahead. Good one, huh?
What?
That is good.
No, this is not an article that I want to read, is it?
Oh,
I'm gonna read this instead of one of my other ones. That one's
Oh,
good.
Shit. Well, speaking of food...
Uh-huh.
We had an article, I think, was it last week? What's the weirdest thing to happen when someone breaks into your home?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
There's a new one. We need to keep a list. So, taking away what happened last week in the article, what is the weirdest thing that you possibly could happen from a breaking and entering?
So many things.
Are you sure?
Dinner
Yeah.
party?
A dinner party. Alright. I did give a hint. It says, speaking of food, so it does have something to do with food.
Someone is masturbating with bread.
What?
You said weird and food. Bread masturbation.
Male or female?
Depends on the bread.
What?
Use a baguette inventively.
I need to go check the kitchen for foodstuffs.
Ray says, that's a new way of loafing around.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, can I just make sure it's not whole grain unless you like bumps. That just means it's ribbed for her pleasure. No, none of that. What is wrong with you, Ishtar?
Wait, that's a new meaning of yeast infection.
Oh,
One
alright.
thing from chat, though. Damn Alien wants to hear Lo-Fi doing bork, bork, bork for, like, the Swedish chef. Now I'm imagining Lo-Fi with the Swedish chef voice preparing human.
Oh god.
No. God, that's horrible.
The sad part is I could imagine her preparing human.
I could. And doing the Swedish chef thing.
Alright,
Yep.
let's get to the reality of the situation. This is not Pornhub. Ishtar, we need to talk about your fetishes. They're a little weird.
I didn't say anything about my fetishes.
You
asked
thought
for weird.
you were way too prepared for that answer, and I'm starting to wonder why the bread is always gone as fast as it is. So we need to just
You know
stay.
what? If I'm having to turn to bread, all I'm saying is the guy who's being cucked by a tree, you know, might not be the only one who needs a drug.
All right, are you ready for this?
All right.
Yes.
Florida man finds robber making breakfast and is told to go back to sleep.
Okay.
Someone broke in to make him breakfast in bed?
No. An unnamed man was disturbed out of his sleep early on Wednesday morning by a noise in his house, according to Tampa, Florida's Fox affiliate. When he went to investigate the sound, he found 19-year-old Gavin... I need a middle name. They keep ruining this for me.
Gavin...
Alexander.
Gavin Alexander Krim in his kitchen cooking himself breakfast. He then confronted Krim only to be told, go back to sleep by the stranger. Instead of following Krim's instructions, the victim called the police, prompting the robber to flee the scene. Police found Krim hiding in a swamp behind the victim's house, according to Pinellas County investigators. Upon his arrest, Krim admitted to breaking into the house through an unlocked back door around 4 a.m. He also confessed to cooking the victim's food once he entered the residence and telling him to return to bed. Krim's arrest report indicates that he was under the influence of alcohol at the time of the crime. Everyone raise your hand if you're shocked.
No.
Krim is...
Yeah. I was expecting meth.
Krim is now facing burglary charges for the incident.
I'm disappointed. I was expecting meth.
Nope, just
Hi,
alcohol.
Ghost Dog.
How's it going, Ghost Dog?
Hi, TM Writer.
TM, you missed Ishtar's expression of love for baked goods.
I did not. Well, I
When you're done watching, timestamp this and then go back and you'll understand what I'm talking about. That one's rather long. That was a short one. So let's do another quick one. So apparently there are people who are taking this idea and they're making a public radio station out of it, and I feel like this is copyright infringement, and I want to see if I'm able to sue them for this. But Florida Man radio station to debut in Orlando. Shannon Burke, Bubba the Love Sponge will host.
I'm hoping that it is exactly what it seems like it is, which is a radio station dedicated to the exploits of Florida Man.
It's being hosted by someone named Bubba the Love Sponge.
It's dedicated. I hope it's syndicated nationally. I want to listen.
I know who Bubba the Love Sponge is. That's a guy who used to dress up as a Sailor Bubba.
Yes, and he's also friends with Hulk Hogan.
I know who Hulk Hogan is, but I don't know who the other guy is.
Sailor Bubba, look up pictures. It's hilarious.
Orlando, Florida. Florida Man has inspired countless headlines, memes, and books. And now the phenomenon is hitting the airwaves with a new radio station. I'm sorry to let you know, Bubba, it's already happened. I've been doing this for over a year. Florida Man Radio on 660 AM and 105.5 FM will be hosted by Orlando talk radio staple Shannon Burke, Bubba the Love Sponge Clem, Scott Ledger, and attorney Justin Clark. That's a lot of people. With Bubba the Love Sponge Clem hosting Morning Drive, Scott Ledger's Dangerous Conversation in Midday, Shannon Burke in Afternoon Drive, and attorney Justin Clark's You Have the Power from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m., Florida Man Radio will be must-listen radio every day. JVC's Executive Vice President Shane Reeves said, "The great talent and notoriety of our hosts will wake up talk radio in Orlando, Florida. Florida Man Radio will prove that there can still be creativity and real topics discussed on Orlando radio that affect each and every one of us. These fuckers have been listening in to me and us, and I am going to sue the living pants off them." All of the news, no pants. None of the pants. All of the news, no pants. Don't fuck with MSNBC. Anyway, the vision of locally based talk station that isn't afraid to confront the big topics while not taking it too seriously screams the mantra of JVC. We aren't afraid to buck the norms, keeping live and local radio working for our clients and listeners, providing great results for clients, and continuing to invest in great programming. I'm thrilled for the future of our stations across the country. 660 AM and 105.5 FM was most recently a conservative talk radio station owned by Salem Media Group. Officials have not said when the new station will debut. And there's one comment.
Be national.
There's one comment from Richard Enormous. Basically, his name is Dick Enormous. Until the feminists organize a rally against the radio station and its sponsors because it's not inclusive enough and has the word man in it. Son of a bitch stole my idea.
Poor baby.
Poor baby.
Oh, it is 9 o'clock. Well, 5 to 9.
It's 5 to 9.
We're going to be doing something a little different from now on around this time. And that's because I would like to promote certain things. I've already been called a shill whore because people like me reading horrible books for some reason. So I'm going to give...
Squealing. You like the squealing.
Squealing's awesome.
Yeah.
If you guys enjoy this show and you want to support the channel, there are links down below to my Patreon, as well as PayPal, and a wonderful merchandise store that has a bunch of designs that are shown at the beginning and the end of each show. It's easy. If you want to support the channel that way, I would really appreciate it. But that's my shill for the rest of these. What I want to do is let Wren shill her shows and kind of do a commercial break.
Well, for my shows, it will be fully up and running again once my room is settled and I can fully get moved in, and then I don't have to worry about construction work and the show. But once it's back up in about 2 weeks to a month, you can catch me every Tuesday and Thursdays, and maybe on the weekends. And if you really like me, there's PayPal links and stuff in my description on my Twitters, which is linked below.
Wren needs her pumpkin spice.
I need that pumpkin spice and something other than mac and cheese and French fries to eat.
All right.
Your diet is the exemplary of health.
Well, when that's all you have in the house, that's what you eat.
It is
Well, I'm not
the
gonna argue
American way.
I'm not going to argue that. I'm
Even
just
if
saying.
you start craving salad or any other food
Uh,
possible.
Really quick, Steve Fernandez says, "Hey, where would I ship shiny things to you guys?"
Shiny things?
Shiny things?
DM me on Twitter, Steve Fernandez. We'll talk.
Yeah.
I like shiny things.
And shiny things can be shipped from her to me, too.
Yes.
So, she sends me booze, so she knows, she knows where to send it.
All right, and the last person that gets to give her own little commercial is Ishtar.
You guys should come over and watch me Mondays and Fridays, somewhere around the hour of 7:30, 8 o'clock, where I have my Twitch channel and I play games and pretend I'm entertaining. I am told I am entertaining, but I think people are lying to me. But you should come find out for yourselves. It is www.twitch.tv/ISHTARJMO. Currently, we are playing Sinking City on Mondays, and Friday I need to start up a new game. So I will see you guys there. Good night, Allie. Good night, Red Feather.
See you both later. Have a good night, both of you. Tom says, "How does Wren still need pumpkin spice? I sent her a gallon of illicit pumpkin spice stolen from the finest Starbucks, and she devoured it and wants more. She needs help."
Hey, it only lasted so long before the pumpkin spice expired. And I loved it, and if you would like to do that again, while the minion hated when I got the half gallon of pure pumpkin spice from Starbucks, because according to him, it made the house smell like pumpkin spice everywhere. I thought it smelled great. He didn't like it, apparently.
That's okay. He can
All
live
right.
it.
But I did enjoy it a lot.
All right, commercial break is over. Let's jump back into the cringe, shall we?
Cringe
Yes.
is good.
All right. For cringe, we will now go to Pooftwan.
Oh, God damn it.
Ooh. Yes.
The
Poof
new-
us, baby.
The new Miss Monopoly game celebrates women trailblazers.
The what?
I want to point this out. The tagline for this game is the first game where women make more than men.
Wait till we get
What?
to it. Did you pass go? Collect $200. Monopoly has been entertaining players and inspiring future real estate brokers and causing many a family feud since its first release in 1935. While there have been different versions of the game, Monopoly Fallout's really fun to play. The game released over the years, in mid-September, Hasbro will launch the most exciting one yet, Miss Monopoly.
Oh, yes, because
The
that's
first
going to be
Monopoly game to
exciting.
celebrate women trailblazers will also have a new mascot gracing its cover. While Mr. Monopoly is a real estate maven, Miss Monopoly is an advocate for those whose mission is to invest in female entrepreneurs. Could this be more awesome?
You mean less awesome? All right, we got $5 on Streamlabs from Ghost Dog. Says purr for the ladies, Antoine, and sue them. You do, Florida man. No one else does.
Aw, thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, James Carter, and hello, the Rickus. How are you guys doing?
How's it going, Rickis? Long time no see.
Hi, Rickus.
Real quick, I have an objection to lodge, if you don't mind. There are 16 people watching this chat, and there are 6 likes. Guys,
We need more.
come on. Smash.
All right. Paid for the purr, they get the purr.
That was the cutest.
That's nice. They're really nice.
That is a sound that makes me quite happy.
Yes.
Well, I'm glad you're here, Rickis. I haven't seen you in a long time. It's nice to see you again.
Breathing new life into the classic franchise in lieu of buying properties, Miss Monopoly invites players to invest in groundbreaking inventions and innovations made possible by women throughout history. From inventions like Wi-Fi to chocolate chip cookies or solar heating to ladies' modern shapewear. Best invention ever, IMHO. Miss Monopoly celebrates everything from scientific advancements to everyday accessories, all created by women. What's more, in the world of Miss Monopoly, women make more money than men. Sure, men have the ability to make money too if they play their cards right, literally. But in this reimagining of the world's economy, women have the advantage from the get-go. Could I reverse Jumanji this situation and jump right into the game, please?
So, all right. One. Mitzi says she now needs a towel. Just pointing that out. 2. So what you're saying is that women, to get a foot up in this world, need to cheat or have a handicap.
You know, this is not what I would consider empowering women. This is basically saying that women are incapable of succeeding on the same level.
No, it's saying that they need help. They need a handout. They need a better
Like I said,
better starting
it says that
point.
they're incapable of doing it without a handout.
Yeah, this is bullshit. All right, I understand that you want to. There are over 1,000 different versions of Monopoly. Okay, over 1,000. If you wanted to highlight all of the creative successes from women throughout history by making them the things that you purchase, all right, I get that. That's a great idea. But to say that women start off to be able to make more than the men? Are you kidding me? I don't know if these people... Monopoly was made and created as a lesson against capitalism. There's a reason why Monopoly causes fights. Because one person starts getting a whole bunch of money and it's almost impossible to get out from under it. Now, you can win. You can come from behind. It takes a lot of luck and a lot of hard work, but you can. But to outright state that the people who have a vagina, who are playing against you, are already going to get something ahead of you, why would I want to play it?
Oh, wait till this next
No
paragraph.
idea.
As a feminist, women's college graduate, and mother of 2 young daughters, I'm pretty psyched about this news from Hasbro. And if I had a son, I'd likely be even more excited.
Yeah, I'm sure you
still-
would be more excited because you get to show the boy how useless he is in your worldview.
Shh, wait till I finish the paragraph. It's so important for our children to see equal representation in our leaders, from business and entertainment to politics and education. Ultimately, through educating your children on equal rights for everyone and gender equality begins at home. It starts in the way that parents treat each other, in entertainment viewed at home, in what we read, and now in the games we play. And while pay gap still favors men, I can only hope that will change in my children's lifetime. While we're dreaming, I wouldn't be opposed to a female president of the United States either.
Oh, I'm sure you wouldn't mind a female president of the United States. Okay, I understand taking a game and having educational biases put behind it. But it's not a pay gap, it's a wage gap. It's just the average. It doesn't take into consideration anything. Where is my shoe on head clip? I need to keep that around. Look, it is just the average amount comparing all of working men compared to all of working women. It doesn't say anything about equal time, equal jobs, anything. How much hours are put in for a man compared to how many hours are put in for a woman. And it's a generalization. Fuck this shit. I'm tired of hearing the actual gender gap is about 3%. Not this 27. It's gone up. Do you know it's gone up? It started at 20, then it went to 22, then it was 25, now it's 27. And depending on your race, you get more. I think it's black women. Black women are 30%. Mexican women are 40%. Chinese women are negative 10%.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. This is stupid. You don't put this in a game and try and teach it. I don't know. If this came out when I was a young boy, I don't know a single one of my friends that would want to play this with their sisters. Why do I want to play a game that is already designed to make me lose?
Nobody does. That's the
One
thing.
does. And there's more. Shh. It's no surprise Miss Monopoly was conceived by Hasbro, a company whose workplace culture values and empowers women, from providing best in-class benefits to ensure competitive and equitable pay. Not only do women make more than half the company's employees, but Hasbro is committed to growing women in directors and above roles globally across the business areas to around 50% by 2025, according to the game's press release. Hasbro continues to evaluate new ways to support the growth and development of all employees, including women, making this a hashtag goals company if you're looking for a new job, ladies.
Okay, so Tom has brought up some good points. And I was going to bring them up after the article, but it needs to be said now. First, Tom says, where is it? Miss Monopoly gives women an undeserved sense of accomplishment when your daughter plays with other little girls. Everyone will make the same money. Little boys you want to turn into MRAs, not included. Plus, they always stretch to claim a minority invented something. Hedy Lamarr did not invent Wi-Fi. She patented a novel application for spread spectrum communication that already existed. And then he adds, the higher your hypergamy, the higher the wage gap. Wage gaps only work in affluent societies. When everyone has to work in the fields, there is no wage gap. Everyone suffers equally. And this is why Hasbro is losing so much money on so many products. They don't care about merit. They just want to look like they're being diverse. Wren,
Yes?
can you drive race car? Do you know how to drive a Formula F1 race car?
No,
Did you know that there are very few women in F1 sports?
not shocked.
Okay, if we were to go by this, you could become an F1 racer just for the fact that you have tits and a vagina.
Yeah, you probably don't want me behind the wheel of a car. I don't drive and don't have a driver's license.
It doesn't matter. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to put CEOs. They want 50% representation of CEOs. They want 50% representation of all of these things. This is bullshit. It has nothing to do with your ability to do it. It's just you look the part. I'm sorry. When you're judging something based on certain characteristics, be it race or sex, that's illegal.
Just a little bit.
continuing on. How cool is this? In celebrating the release of Miss Monopoly, Hasbro surprised a group of young female inventors and entrepreneurs with the recognition they deserve. An investment of $20,580 to fuel their innovative spirit and further their projects. That dollar amount just so happens to be the same amount of Monopoly money featured in the game. To see the reactions, blah, blah. What a moment for this group. I can't wait to see what incredible inventions and business dreams they are able to realize in the future. Miss Monopoly starts hitting the shelves in the US and in select countries globally in mid-September. Suggested retail price $19.99. What an awesome way to inspire young dreamers to play a game based on a woman trailblazers who have already carved a path to success. They had to work extra hard, but as a result, they achieved their dream, and so can you. So can your little entrepreneur.
Except in this game, they're not having to work hard for the extra bits. They're being given to them from the beginning. There's no need to try and achieve their dreams because they're already getting the bonus. They don't have to work hard. So, $19.99? Are they going to put a special price on it if you're buying it for a woman? Want to cut that down 40% less? So we'll take it. It's 40% of 20 is what? It becomes $12.99 for women buying it. Well, good job, Hasbro. You're showing solidarity with the women's. Are you fucking kidding me? When men pass go in this game, they get $200. When women pass go, they get $240. Men start off with $1,500. Women start off with $1,900. Did you know that with any game of Monopoly, excuse me, any game of Monopoly, you can change the rules. There is actually in the rule book something called house rules. Everyone knows the rule. You land on free parking. You get all the money in the middle of the board.
Yep.
Did you know that's not a real rule? That's something people came up with.
It's been incorporated into the PC game.
Landing on go doubles your money. Did you know that's not a real rule? That was a house rule that was incorporated into the game.
That's not a real rule?
No. After it became a popular thing that people would do with house rules, Hasbro then said, if you want, you can do that.
Well, what are they going to say? You can't do that because it's our game and we said so?
No, they can try. Did you know that there is a rule where you have to circle the board once before you buy property?
I didn't know that rule.
Yeah, that's not a real rule. That was a rule garnered by people who played the game. If you want to be a bitch and say, if you're a woman playing this, you get $240 for passing go. Here's how this works. I identify as a woman. Look, I get to play just like you do.
You know what's not going to happen? Any parent wanting to let their kids play this. Why? Because any parent is going to have their son suddenly shrieking about how it's not fair and they don't want to play. And then the sister starts screaming because her brother doesn't want to play her nifty new game with her.
Tom,
is that about how it's going to work, Wren?
About how it's
Speaking
going to
from
work.
the point of view of a mom?
Oh, yeah, you'd have the boys going, fuck it, I quit.
Yeah.
Tom says, well, first, Ghost Dog says, John O'Sullivan invented Wi-Fi, you fucking morons. Yes, they're
Please
giving...
don't call us morons. That's
no,
not nice.
No. Not talking to us. Talking to the people who wrote the article. Then Tom says, Wren only isn't a race car driver because she hasn't seen female race car representation. Apparently women are too dumb to do things unless they see someone else do it first. Who knew? And that is one of the narratives that is being pushed. Because there's not representation of females doing certain things. You two ladies, and the ladies in the chat, are too stupid to accomplish it. Because a woman didn't do it first.
Yeah.
My take on that is more women are by nature pack creatures, so we automatically look to the pack to make sure that we're, God help. It's that whole village mentality.
Yeah. Also, here's the thing. I just got full-time at work. I had to work my ass off to earn it. Not just you're a woman, here you go. But here, you've worked and proved you can do this. Here you go.
Yes.
Isn't it more insulting to get something handed to you just because you're a woman?
According
Yes.
to these fucks, no.
But to
we're
me,
not
that
talking
is.
about them.
We're not talking about them. Because to me, that's more insulting if someone had gone, you're a woman, here you go, versus you proved you are someone who's reliable and hardworking, and you've earned this.
It's like I said, giving the feminist monopoly rules basically say that women are incompetent, that we can't succeed without help.
It's a handicap.
Without
They're giving you a handicap.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
And
fuck
that's-
the handicap.
goddamn insulting.
I don't want the goddamn handicap. I want to work for what I have. Because that means I earned it.
It's mine. Nobody can take that accomplishment away from me.
Tom says, how demoralizing is it going to be when a boy plays against 4 girls and still wins through merit?
Good for him.
And then the Rickus says, how long until it's a problem that some guys are better looking and do makeup better? They need representation in the makeup community. Men are taking over. Have you not seen James Charles? That man's makeup is on point.
There are gay guys who are more beautiful women than they are handsome men.
There are
It's
gay guys.
disgusting.
Yeah, there are
And I
gay
mean
guys out
disgusting
there.
because I'm jealous as fuck about it.
Yeah, there are gay guys out there who do eyeshadow looks where you're staring, going, "I've been playing with makeup since I was 13. How the fuck can you do that?"
And think about it like this. Every girl wants to have the sassy gay guy who's going to tell her she looks like shit in that outfit. Most women don't want that in another woman.
No, we don't want that in a woman. But we'll take that sassy gay guy who will go, honey, take that off. Put this
Bitch,
on.
please.
Tom Leach says, it's almost like these people think women are giant fuckable children. I'll let you all finish that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the problem. When you view women as you are something that needs to be protected and you need to get a leg up, it's like, I want to earn everything I have. Some of my
don't
best,
need to give me that.
yeah, some of my, as stupid as it is, some of my, like, oh my god, possessions, like, that most valuable to me aren't even monetarily worth that much. But they're worth it more to me because I fucking earned that.
Mhm.
I went out, I worked hard, I got that. And to me, that's more valuable to me than if someone handed it to me because, oh, you're a woman, here you go.
So Ray says, so if Tom Penoid plays Monopoly, does he chain the women to Baltic Avenue?
That's a good question. And the answer is probably.
James
Probably.
Carter comes in with, I'm not surprised, Hasbro made it. Wizards of the Coast likes to push for more women to be pro Magic players, and Wizards is owned by Hasbro. This is true. And
Yeah.
Damn Alien follows it up with, I like when women get a leg up. Or two. Usually resting on the shoulders.
Yeah.
All
Well,
right.
see, that's a different kind of leg up. That's a more pleasurable leg up for everyone.
Everyone likes that. All right, whose turn is it?
I do believe it is science. Let's get
Well,
away
since
from
we are
this idiocy.
raging, let's go with some more death. 13th century death pit reveals murdered family in the city drowned in blood.
See, look,
group
another
was found-
ritualistic sacrifice thing.
I know. The group was found among hundreds of bodies consigned to mass graves. When Mongol soldiers swept through the Russian town of Yaroslavl, I'm pretty sure I mispronounced that, in 1238, a bloodbath followed. Hundreds of people, male and female even, died horrific and violent deaths during the city's capture, and DNA evidence has now revealed a tragic glimpse of a family of victims spanning 3 generations. Following the massacre, bodies were dumped in mass graves by the dozens. No markers identified individuals, but scientists with the Moscow Institute of Physics and Technology used genetic analysis of corpses in one grave to discover that 3 of the dead, 2 women and a young man, were close relatives: a mother, her daughter, and her grandson. The matriarch of the trio was at least 55 years old. Her daughter was around 30 to 40, and the grandson was no more than 20. The grave that held the family's bodies were one of 9 death pits at Yaroslavl.
Hold on. Hold on. Do the math on that real quick. 30, from that time period, 30, okay, I can get. 40. That means... that 15 years old.
It was 1238. In that time frame, from what I understand, as soon as you were menstruating, you were ready to get married.
Yeah.
Yaknomeno says early dinner theater was brutal.
Thank you, Brianna. I appreciate that. Together, the pits held more than 300 corpses, the researchers reported recently at the Alexiev Readings Conference, held August 26th to 28th at the Anuchin Research Institute and Museum of Anthropology in Moscow.
Oh, no. Okay. We're hoping it's not 30. Because if it's 30, yes, from grandmother to mother, it's fine. But if it was 30, from mother to grandson, it's 10 years.
Yeah.
Different times, Antoine. Don't be critical.
I can be as critical as I want.
It was different times. You have to take that into account. It's like taking into account when a song is written. You know, like take, for example, that one song where the guy's trying to convince the woman to stay. It's a Christmas song. What's the name of it?
Baby, it's cold outside.
Yeah, Baby, it's cold outside. These days, that sounds incredibly rapey. But in that time frame, it was sexy as shit.
It's Dean Martin. Of course it's sexy as shit.
Huh?
It's Dean Martin. Of course it's sexy as shit.
But my point remains that the lyrics, regardless of who sang it, are viewed differently. It's the same thing with the ages. In that time frame, the mothers were probably considered full adults.
No, the people who are complaining about Baby It's Cold Outside sounding rapey are the same people who are saying, hey guys, is problematic and sexist. It's not normal people.
I'm going to move on. Prior examination of the bones by anthropologists suggested that the trio might be related. They shared certain skull features, and all of their skeletons showed signs of spinal bifida, a hereditary birth defect that produces an underdeveloped spinal cord. The 3 family members were discovered in a burial pit holding 15 bodies at a homestead inside a citadel in Yaroslavl's inner city. Though much of the site was burned during the city's capture, surviving buildings and artifacts hinted that it was once a wealthy estate, the researchers said in the presentation. Further evidence of the murdered family's wealth was detected in their teeth. Their remains showed more advanced tooth decay than in other townsfolk, hinting that the family's diet included regular helpings of honey and sugar, a sign of elevated status according to the presentation. Genetic analysis also pinpointed a 4th family member, a maternal relative, buried nearby, the scientists said. Excavation work at Yaroslavl from 2005 to 2006 determined that the massacre took place in February in 1238, but the species and life stages of preserved maggots in the remains indicated that the flies laid their eggs on the corpses in warm weather. The findings suggested that the bodies were likely decomposing in the open for months before being buried.
Ew.
These people were killed, and their bodies remained lying in the snow for a fairly long time, said Asaya Ingovatova, head of excavations at the Yaroslavl site and deputy director of the Institute of Archaeology at the Russian Academy of Sciences. In April or May, flies started to multiply on the remains, and in late May or early June, they were buried in a pit on the homestead, which is where they were probably had lived, Ingotova said in a statement. The Mongol army that invaded Russia and decimated Yaroslavl in the early 13th century was led by Batu Khan, grandson of Genghis Khan and founder of the kingdom known as the Golden Horde. Those scholars have argued that the Khan's Golden Horde peacefully acquired territory in Russia. The gruesome evidence at Yaroslavl proves otherwise, scientists said.
Yes, because that's because history is written by the winners.
It always is. Signs of brutality at Yaroslavl was seen in the hundreds of hastily buried bodies, their bones punctured, broken, and burned. By the time the Mongol invaders were done with Yaroslavl and the Russian talon had fallen, this was truly a city drowned in blood. The horrific fate of its residents later woven into legend, Ingo Vatova said in the statement. Batu Khan's conquest was the greatest national tragedy, surpassing any other event in cruelty and destruction, Ingo Vatova said. It's not by chance that it's among the few such events that made its way into the Russian folklore.
Alright, to be fair, what Ray says is true. History is not written by the winners, it's written by the survivors. Hitler wrote history. It's true. He was a historical figure. He will go down as a historical figure. What I mean by the winners write history, especially in this era, is the losers were usually dead and couldn't say otherwise.
However, to quote CSI, the evidence never lies.
You know, if you're going to quote CSI, you have to do a pun. And then, push your glasses up on your forehead.
No. Because I need my glasses to see. These aren't just decorative. Are you still raging about the ages?
Yes.
A little bit.
Ay.
Ricky says the guy that killed Hitler was the best Nazi. Alright, let's lighten things up.
Please.
Let's talk about urine.
That's not
No.
lighting things up.
Florida man throws urine on prosecutor during sentencing hearing in Fort Lauderdale.
Sentences.
Yes, sentences. A Florida man found guilty of attempted murder and awaiting sentencing tossed urine on the prosecutor inside a Fort Lauderdale courtroom. According to the Broward Sheriff's Office police report, Albert Narvaez, again without a middle name. Fuck these people.
Albert Guillermo.
Guillermo, that sounds good.
Albert Guillermo Narvaez, attacked Broward Assistant State Attorney Andrew Newman inside Circuit Judge Susan Alspector's courtroom on Wednesday. The report states Narvaez threw a bottle of urine at Newman and yelled, "He pissed on me! He told me to do it! Fuck him!" It is not known who Narvaez was referring to. Probably his cellmate. The BSO arrest report states the urine went inside his mouth and outer clothing.
Ew.
Gross.
It is sterile.
That doesn't make
It's
it less
still-
gross.
Ew.
What's even worse is they found out he had asparagus the day before.
Ah!
It is not clear how Narvaez was able to get the bottle into the courtroom. That's from his prison pocket. The sentencing hearing was postponed. Narvaez is now also charged with battery for his attack. Chief Assistant State Attorney Jeff Marcus said, "We are absolutely incensed by what occurred. I wish the public knew the number of threats persecutors receive on a daily basis. But they have the courage to go into court every day to ensure that justice is pursued against these violent offenders."
In other words, pat us on the back because we face down this shit all the time.
Yeah.
Newman, a prosecutor for 26 years, said, "I've seen a lot. I was a homicide prosecutor in Palm Beach. Here I've been in domestic violence unit for many, many years." But in those 26 years, he said nothing compares to the level of violation he felt at 3:45 p.m. This was unexpected, obviously. It was kind of a shocking incident. No shit. Well, I mean,
No,
it
actually,
wasn't.
it was urine.
Yeah, I was going to say it wasn't shit. It was urine. To be fair. Newman's laptop, paperwork, and even his chair was soaked.
It's no, just no.
I think we found Wren's creep factor.
Not from a stranger. Like that's the ultimate violation. No shame on those who like it, but if you're not consenting and it's a complete stranger, no.
So you're saying he was trying to introduce him to water sports?
Yes, he was against that man's will.
Well, Rickus says a thick bottle of orange piss stowed in his ass. Flavortown.
Ew.
As the law... Wait, where is it? Newman's was soaked. I just think in any courthouse, crazy things can and do happen to you. I'm in YouTube. I mean, YouTube is full of videos of... Wow. Quart. Not court. Quart. Quart. Room incidents. So it's... Alright, I'm going to fix this paragraph while I read it. So let me start over. I just think in any courthouse, crazy things can and do happen to you. I mean, YouTube is full of videos of courtroom incidences, so it's highly difficult, or it's a difficult, high-pressure, tough situation, and everybody should be on guard. As the law stands, battery on anyone working in the courts, such as bailiffs, judges, or prosecutors, is a misdemeanor. State Representative Michael Gottlieb wants to make this a felony. I've worked in the system for 25 years. I've seen public defenders stabbed with a pencil. I have seen inmates spit on people. And whether he's state attorney or not, he's a comrade of arms in the justice system. Gottlieb has already drafted the bill to make it a felony. He says it needs to be enhanced to a third-degree felony with a sentencing guideline of at least 5 years in prison and the punishment to run consecutive to any other offense the person is sentenced to. I'm not happy that it occurred. It's not going to change the way I am, Newman said. It's just going to make him smell like asparagus and piss for a while.
Ew.
It's not going to stop him...
Fortunately, the shower will do wonders.
It's not going to stop him from prosecuting people like Narvaez to the fullest extent of the law. Not going to change anything at all, he adds. He's just going to bring a poncho. Police want to know how Narvaez got free. How did Narvaez... Get a fucking editor! Police want to know how Narvaez got the pee. How did he get his hands on a bottle, and who is at fault? BSO has an internal affairs investigation looking into the incident.
Wow.
Ray says he wanted to take the piss out of the lawyer, but got it backwards.
Oh. Hey, Vin.
How's it going, Vin?
Hi, Vin.
And then Yeknemeno adds, hope it was high pressure. Can you imagine being pissed on at a dribble?
Oh.
Even worse, Rickus adds, oh yes, slow dribble like Chinese water torture.
Oh, yuck.
Yuck.
So much yuck. What's wrong with you guys?
I don't know.
So how you been, Vin? Can we move on to the next article, please?
Yeah,
Yes.
it's cringe time.
Ren?
All right. I'm going to go with the one that Ishi sent me. Married man's death during sex on business trip ruled workplace accident.
Send me the link.
It's in the group chat already.
Oh, God.
A married man who died of a heart attack during sex on a business trip in France was ruled to have been a victim of a workplace accident, making him financially responsible, according to reports.
Wait. That's one way to screw the company.
Indeed it is. Engineer Xavier X was found dead in his hotel room, and
His name is not
thanks
Xavier
to
X.
lore, shortly after having sex with a local woman he had just met, according to the Times of London. Lawyers for his bosses at the Parisian Railroad Construction Company (TSO) insisted that he was not performing duties when he had the heart attack, blaming the adulterous sex act that he had with a complete stranger. But the appeals court judges ruled that the employee was on assignment and is entitled to their employer's protection for the duration of their mission, whether or not the accident takes place as part of a professional activity or as an act of normal life. They upheld. Where's it? That's that. They upheld a 2016 lower court ruling in the case that stated a sexual encounter is an act of normal life, like taking a shower or eating a meal. That means the February 2013 death of Xavier X, whose surname was not released, is officially an act oud travail, which entitles the victims' families to benefits from both the state and employer.
He
Any
gets
partners
covered by
and
the
children will
accidental
receive
death
money
policy.
receive a monthly benefit up to 80% of his salary until what would have been his retirement age, and then a share of his pension.
I think you have just made his day.
Right.
he gets the accidental life insurance policy.
Died cheating on your wife. Your wife gets your death benefits because that's a workplace accident.
That seems fair to me.
It does.
No, this is. Oh god, they're gonna fight this. Oh my god.
Ghost Dog has it right. Well, he died happy, and his wife got paid. The perfect way to go. I mean, 80% of his monthly salary.
Until he would been of retirement. How old did they say he was?
They didn't say how old he was.
So let's say he's got kids, right? So we're saying he's anywhere from 25 to 35. Retirement age is 70 now. So she gets 35
years.
Yeah, she gets 35 to 40 years
of 80% of his salary.
Of 80% of it a month.
And then after that, gets a good portion of what his pension would have been.
Are we sure the wife didn't spike him? This is a new way to kill people.
Death by spike.
I gotta say that, she's gonna get good news and bad news.
He cheated on you, but you get 80% of his salary because his cheating on you was a workplace accident.
And you get his pension.
Okay.
I think she's okay with this. He was a fucking asshole. No, that's how he died.
Yeah, I think she's gonna be fine.
She'll be fine.
Death by Snoo Snoo. Yeah. This. I wonder if the same thing works on exes.
No.
No.
What? The thought
Whatever it is
experiment.
you're thinking, no.
Are we on to some science now?
Yes.
Alright.
Let's see. Okay, so Bigfoot or Star Trek?
Bigfoot.
Okay, Bigfoot it is. Bigfoot's watching me. North Carolina man shares footage of something in the woods. They are there, people, the Bigfoot enthusiast said. They're there, and we need to respect them. There is a video. A North Carolina man claims he's captured footage of 3 Bigfoot creatures watching him in the woods. Bigfoot enthusiast Doug Teague of Hickory explained in a video on the Catawba Valley Bigfoot Research Facebook page that he was out in the woods last month trying to retrieve some game cameras when he heard a knocking sound. First, he dismissed it as woodpeckers. A rock was thrown, he told WCNC, the NBC station in Charlotte. Teague said his dog, Crazy Daisy, chased the rock. When he looked to see who had thrown it, he spotted the 3 ape-like cryptids. I was like a giddy school kid, Teague said. Just nervous, heart beating, it was crazy. The footage wasn't clear, but it showed something moving on the other side of a set of trees. Teague said he has about 10 minutes of footage of the creatures in the forest. He told the Hickory Record that he regularly goes out in search of Bigfoot and often bringing snacks into the forest in an attempt to lure them. They like granola bars, apples, mushrooms, turnips, moon pies, Teague said. They like sweets. Teague said he spotted Bigfoot 4 times and has also made casts of footprints. They are there, people, Teague said in his Facebook video. They're there, and we need to respect them.
Big fucking shock. A Bigfoot enthusiast somehow, some way, has video proof of something that doesn't exist. So, I've said this before when we've talked about Bigfoot. Bigfoot was debunked. The famous picture that everyone has seen, the famous video, the people who did the hoax gave a deathbed confession along with the evidence and the suit that was worn. There's no such thing as Bigfoot.
Alright, playing devil's advocate. Then explain the large footprints that have been found in various places. Up to and including a footprint found by, God, what was his name? It was just there. Guy who runs Destination Truth. I used to watch him all the time. He found one, and it was so authentic, or so viewed as authentic, the government of, what was it, Nepal refused to let him take the original cast out of the country.
Yes, because then it could actually be tested instead of just looked at.
Shush you.
Here's how you get an authentic Bigfoot foot. You rent an ape suit that's 3 times the size of a normal person. They do have them. You take off the foot, you fill it with something solid, and then you push it into the mud. Look at that. You have a Bigfoot print.
They're going to haul it up into remote areas on the off chance that somebody is going to find it.
There are people who fake Reddit posts for clout.
Yeah, but it's Reddit. That's easy.
Yeah, it means there are people willing to fake stupid pictures on Reddit for clout. You don't think there's someone dumb enough who's going to put a fake foot in the fucking mud up halfway up the Nepalese mountains. On top of that, we can talk about crop circles. People go to extreme lengths to make crop circles seem like they're not created by humans.
That process is actually really neat, how they do it.
On top of that, they're trying to find ways of not breaking the reeds. So you can't be the whole, they sneak in, cover their footprints, and use the wood to press down the crop circles. It's done. There's no Bigfoot, there's no Loch Ness Monster. Every ounce of the Loch Ness has been searched. There is no plesiosaur, there's no ichthyosaur, there's no Bigfoot, there's no abominable snowman, there's no such thing as actual crop circles.
You're so close-minded.
Yes, you are.
I'm sorry, I go with the proof that was given. And yes, Vin, I heard about the KFC dating sim.
Right, Yeknomeno? Next, Antoine's going to tell us there's no Santa, no Easter Bunny, no Tooth Fairy. She's going to spoil everything.
Well, it's not a tooth fairy in particular. It's a cigarette fairy, and it visited Wren already.
Cigarette Fairy is awesome. Now, if only Sandwich Fairy could visit me.
Tom Leach says, there's no joy in Antoine's life. #DragTwan.
Except there is, because I do believe in spirits and ghosts, and I also believe that there are aliens. We have one in our chat.
Ray says, Jesus died and people see him around. Elvis died and people see him around. Tupac died and people see him. I have a very bad feeling about Bigfoot.
Yeah, Jesus appears in toast. I mean, come on. Elvis has been dead for, 70 years and people still see Elvis around? What is he, 90? Is he hobbling by and then suddenly no one can get a picture of him? Or did you just happen to see someone who looked like Elvis? You know what? I actually saw, in my old hometown, there was someone who was an actual Elvis impersonator. Got paid for it. He lived by one of the high schools. He was a legend because it freaked people out. He would walk places and people would look and go, holy fuck, it's Elvis. Elvis is dead, people. There's no Bigfoot. Just move on. We need to explore the actual oceans. You need to find the megalodon that ate the data
See,
station.
you'll believe in the megalodon, but you won't believe in Bigfoot.
Do you want to know why?
Yes.
Because we know 10% about what goes on in our oceans, but we know 90% of what's going on in the forests and the mountains. It's harder to find out what's going on deep down in our oceans where Cthulhu likes to hold out, and there's no one who's actually trying to find fucking Bigfoot without trying to make a big deal about it. The ones that are exploring the oceans, they're hoping to find a new species. Any species. The people who, like this jackamape who decided, oh look, I have video footage. If it was real, it'd be on the news everywhere. It was 3 guys watching him and his daughter, whatever, his son, whoever, dog. I checked out halfway through the article. Playing. He brings snacks like moon pies. Are you fucking kidding me?
Bitter.
It's just meaning that Bigfoot is a voyeur and likes watching and gets off on watching people.
Someone's a... Antoine,
What?
you cut out.
I didn't say anything.
Oh, I thought you said something after I called you cranky.
Oh, no, I said Bigfoot's a voyeur and gets off watching people.
Ah, okay.
Alright. Do you want to... Let's talk about something that actually really happens.
Well,
Because
if it's... Never mind. Go ahead.
What?
Nothing.
How's it going, Fowl?
Hi, Fowl.
Hello.
What's the... Everyone's seen the smart cars, right?
Yes.
Okay. Uh-oh. Ghost Dog says, hates Bigfoot, Elvis, and other zoo cryptids. Hashtag Antoine hater. Well, we know that Hurricane Dorian's coming through. Or has already come through. Is it already over?
Yes.
Well, we know the smart
Dorian's
cars...
come and gone.
Smart cars basically look like something that Shaq puts on 1 foot at a time. You would think winds blowing at 255 miles an hour may have an impact on it. Well, this Florida man has an idea.
Uh-oh.
And it's a good one. Because
Are we sure?
Yes and no. But it does work. It keeps it away from the winds.
Putting it inside the garage?
Florida man parks smart car in kitchen so it won't blow away. Look, there's actually photographic evidence of it. It's something that really happened. Unlike 3 Bigfoots watching him play with a goddamn dog. Jacksonville, Florida. It started as a light-hearted challenge between a Florida couple. Can a smart car fit into their kitchen? The answer? Yes, it can. Patrick Eldridge parked his smart car in the kitchen to protect it from Hurricane Dorian because he didn't want it to blow away, and to prove that he can park his car there. Jessica Eldridge said her car was already parked in the garage. To avoid cleaning their garage out, her husband proposed to park it in the house. I said there was no way he could, and he said he could, Jessica said. So he opened the double doors and had it in. I was amazed that it could fit. He had it in with no problems. That's because it's the size of a matchbox. Dorian was skirting Florida's coast Wednesday, narrowly missing Jacksonville as it heads northward along the Georgia, South Carolina, and North Carolina coastlines. The Category 2 storm has devastated the Bahamas, where the rescue crews have only begun taking a full measure of the damage. I thought it was supposed to be a Category 5. This was supposed to be the worst hurricane of all time. It's a Category 2? Are you kidding me?
By the time it hit certain lands, it was only a Category 2. But when it hit the Bahamas. I think it was like a 4 or 5.
Tom has a good point. He says, and if the power goes out, they can cook food on the radiator and turn it on the headlights.
Yep, that's true.
With the car in the middle of the kitchen, Jessica had to move around it to cook and serve dinner. I'm hoping he will put it out pretty soon once the wind dies down. There is room, and it's not in the way, but my dogs are confused by it.
Well, yeah, because the dogs are looking. Why is there a car here?
They
Mom.
always,
The kitchen.
Mom, what's going on, Mom?
I agree with Damn Alien. It's one of them cars you can just pick up and put in your pocket.
I have actually seen people with a smart car in the back of their pickup truck. They just picked it up and put it back there. For reasons.
Alright, and I have my last one. It's another quick one.
All right.
Everyone likes lizards, right? Well, I understand. Ishtar likes snakes more than anything. As long as they're from the trouser region.
Moving on.
A Florida kid brings bearded dragon to school in a backpack.
The dragon, the lizard wanted to go with to school.
The Rickus said it's a pregnant roller skate. The smart car.
Roller skate. I mean, yeah, that's a good description.
Alright, I'm gonna let the little video play. Panama City, Florida. A Florida school district says an unusual passenger was found in a student's backpack. In a Facebook post, Bay County School District officials say they found a bearded dragon in the middle of the school student's backpack on Monday. And there's the picture of the bearded dragon. I'm going to scroll down. The school says they put the reptile in a box until an adult could take him home. The student said they brought the lizard named Django to school because they didn't want him to be sad home alone all day. The school reminded parents to check their children's backpacks before sending them out the door.
Hey, he was just thinking of his pet's well-being. His pet would have been lonely at home, so he wanted him to come with to school.
That sounds reasonable to me.
Infallible Fowl says dragons aren't real, that's just a guy in a suit. Alright, and that's it for my Florida Man stuff. I do believe
Alright.
we have one more cringe article.
Yeah, I gotta go with drunk raccoons.
Drunk raccoons.
This happened in Ontario, and apparently, a raccoon has been eating. Raccoons have been eating fermented fruits, falling off trees, and it's getting a bit drunk. Emily Rogers said she arrived home Monday to find a raccoon stumbling around oddly in her backyard in Stittsville area of Ontario. He couldn't really move. He was dragging his legs. He was wobbly and having a hard time standing up. You could tell something was wrong with him for sure. Another area resident, Julie Fong, said a bylaw officer came to her door Sunday asking to go to her backyard to look for a raccoon spotted in the area that witnesses said appeared to be intoxicated.
Real quick, Antoine, king of the quick ones, and then says, and Django was uncaged. I think you mean unchained, Ghost Dog.
Oh.
And then
okay.
Damn Alien is asking if it's Ichabod.
I think maybe it was Ichabod. He
Yeah,
went on a drinking spree in Ontario.
Did it steal the mangoes?
Maybe.
Did it steal Sparky's mangoes?
Maybe it did. Michael Rutz, a biology professor at Carleton University, said the raccoons are likely getting drunk off fermented fruit. Quote, it's possible that some of the fruit is fermenting under the heat, and that these guys are getting a bit tipsy by eating that fermented fruit, he said. Runce said the best thing to do is to leave the raccoons to sober up on their own. Don't try to give them coffee and get them sobered up. Just let them go their course. If you're really concerned about the animal, call someone of the animal control office. Call some of the animal control officers to come and have a look at it. Police in Milton, WVA said in November 2018 that some raccoons spotted acting strangely in the area had prompted numerous calls about the potential rabid animals, but the raccoons turned out to be drunk after eating fermented crab apples. So raccoons are luscious.
I have a 3-minute video of a drunken squirrel from eating fermented fruit.
Drunken squirrel?
Yes.
I think Wren wants to watch it.
I'm playing it.
He's playing it.
The Rickus would like to know who the F gave 4 downvotes.
I don't know.
Oh, I have a good idea.
It's pretty much the only thing they can do since they don't have the balls to say anything.
He's a little tipsy.
Just a little.
Just a squidge.
See, now I want to see him try and
partied
run
a
up
bit
a
too
tree.
hard.
The world is not straight for him.
Ooh.
So there's that. And there's also another one. It's a little bit cuter. It is a baby elephant.
Oh.
This affluent society have become blasé.
It's from... I think it's a National Geographic. I'm pretty sure if it's National Geographic I'm going to get struck. So let's find something else. Here we go. Drunk. It just says drunk animals. It's the same fucking thing. Give me something that's not going to get me struck. There.
I think we can't. Let's see if there's science, or unless we're done.
Nope, I got it. Here we go. Drunk animals. This is how we're going to end it. With drunk animals. And it is a raccoon. Turn it down though. That's pretty loud.
Here, think about orange after a bender.
Sonic, you're supposed to spin the other way.
No. Ichabod Orange just got wasted and couldn't find his way home.
No, I agree. These animals need to find an AA meeting.
Or pizza. Hamster.
See, the hamster's just trying to show off. That one, not so much.
It's drunk, it can still do backflips.
It's like every drunk frat boy trying to show off.
Yes.
Who knew that drunken frat boys were hamsters? That one's doing the next stroke. And then swirl again.
Comeno suddenly wants a hamster now he finds out that if you get it drunk it does backflips.
Drunk bird. What the f- That bird needs help.
I haven't gotten to the bird yet. I'm still watching. There's the bird.
This drunk bird.
Oh, poor bird.
Wait till you get to the sparrow. It's a hummingbird.
stand. I could totally stand.
I'm not drunk.
Oh, the hummingbird's drunk off of nectar.
Oh, that should be good.
Is it drunk or high?
Possibly both.
I'm waiting for it to fall off. Nope, goes back for seconds.
Oh, look at the puppy.
Why is the dog drunk?
Who knows? But watching him walk like that is like, I'm not sure what's in front of me.
Is it ground, right?
Oh, look at the kitty!
Cat on catnip.
Poor kitty.
Eyes okay.
That's a beautiful Siamese, though.
Oh, that Lima's passed the fuck out. The Lima has had a bad day.
Or an awesome day. Depends on how you want to view it.
So the question is how do they treat the hangovers?
I don't know.
What the fuck?
A drunk horse.
Wait till you get to the snake. I don't know what it was doing.
It's doing something.
Spazzing is what it's doing.
Yeah, the horse had moves.
Oh god, a drunk skunk.
I actually want a pet skunk. They are ridiculously cuddly. You have to get them descented, of course. And you have to keep their nails trimmed because they like to burrow and usually like to try and destroy furniture.
That is so cute.
There, we have now seen drunk animals.
Well, I think it is about that time, ladies. A little bit extra
Yes,
after,
it is.
actually. So we have learned that animals like getting drunk just as much as humans. We found out that a prisoner decided to use his prison pocket to smuggle in some asparagus-laden treats. We've also found out that Monopoly is being cancelled. And, well, cannibalism is going to save us from climate change. I don't know if I'm happy about this week or not.
Hey, some of us got a purr.
Yes.
We were happy about that.
Purrs were to be had.
Yep.
And, you got your
Good luck
poofed
against
one.
Godzilla, Steve.
So,
What was that?
I said, and you guys got your poofed one.
Yes, we did.
We did get
We got
pooped
poofed
on.
one. Now, if only I could have a sandwich. Ooh, or pulled pork on a pizza.
Don't, it's
Ooh,
like,
that sounds tasty.
it's like 10 o'clock here. Don't talk about pulled pork pizza. Now I'm hungry.
Oh, it's not just pulled pork pizza. It's pulled pork pizza with sweet baby Ray's as the sauce, with corn and bacon.
Thank you for that. So,
It's like a barbecue picnic on a
Yes.
crust.
Yes, it is.
this
Yes,
has been
delicious.
This has been MSNBC, my snarky news broadcasting channel. All of the news. At least one of us is not wearing pants. My name, of course, is Antoine the Great, and I have been joined by my gorgeous co-hosts, Wren from Wren Relations and Shitlords Anonymous,
Night, guys.
as well as the pantsless Ishtar from her own Twitch streams, as well as she plays Sarah here every once in a while, right here on Help for the Guildless.
Good night, guys.
So if it's weird, crazy, fun, whatever it is, we here have all the news not fit to print. And we hope to see you all next time. Have a good night, everyone.